Welcome to the Lucky Health Channel. I'm so happy you've joined our health community today. We're about to explore some truly valuable health knowledge, and I promise your body will thank you for it. If you're new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's like joining our big health-loving family. And a quick like on this video will give us even more motivation to keep sharing helpful videos with more wonderful people like you. Thank you. Hello there. I want to ask you something. Have you ever sat down, rested your hands on your knees, and let out a sigh because they felt heavy, stiff, like they weren't even yours anymore? Have you ever gotten out of bed in the morning, stepped onto the floor, and felt your feet swollen, throbbing, and each step reminded you that age was pressing down on your shoulders? If your answer is yes, you are not alone. I've met hundreds, no thousands of people just like you, like the 72-year-old man who came into my clinic, gripping his cane, saying, "Doc, I guess this is just the price of getting old." Or the 68-year-old woman, eyes glistening with tears, saying, "I think my knees are just broken for good now." But you know what? They were wrong. Joint pain, stiff knees, swollen feet. These are not simply the price of aging. It's not just the years passing that makes your body betray you. As a doctor who's worked with people over 50, more than 30 years, let me tell you this. The quiet culprit behind all of that, more often than not, is a loss of collagen. Collagen isn't just what keeps your skin smooth. It's the scaffolding that holds your joints, ligaments, tendons, and yes, your legs running smoothly. It's like the steel cables inside a bridge. When those cables start to rust and fray, the bridge begins to sag, to creak, to wobble. Your body works the same way. I want you to imagine this. By the time you hit 30, you're already losing about 1% of your collagen every single year. Silently, without you noticing. And by around age 65, most of your collagen reserves are too depleted to fully support you anymore. That's when each step feels heavier. Knees ache, feet swell, and you even hear crunching or grinding when you bend your knees. One patient of mine, Walter 67, once said to me, "Doc, I feel like these legs don't even belong to me anymore." I figured, hey, that's just old age, right? And I smiled, put my hand on his shoulder and said, "Walter, growing older doesn't mean you have to settle. Your collagen can be rebuilt, and we can start today." You see, here's the good news. Your body still has the ability to make collagen if you know how to help it. And the best part, you don't need fancy pills. You don't need expensive treatments. Nature has already put the solution in your hands in the form of simple, fresh, colorful fruits that can help reignite that process. And through my experience and plenty of solid research, I've identified 10 fruits that I like to call the collagen craftsmen. Some of them can have noticeable effects in as little as 12 to 48 hours, making your legs feel lighter, easing the pain in your joints, and helping you move more freely. Isn't it fascinating that with just one plate of fruit, you can send a little love back to your own body, to the joints that have carried you faithfully all your life, to the legs that have walked you through so many paths? I'll never forget Susan, a 70-year-old who once stood frozen at the top of a stairway, afraid to step down. But after a few weeks of sticking to the fruits I'm about to share with you, in this video, she came back to my office, hugged me, and said, "Doc, I actually walked a whole lap at the park this morning. I feel like I'm 10 years younger. Do you want to feel like Susan? Do you want your legs to be your trusted companions again? Instead of a burden, then come with me on this journey. I won't rush. I'll tell you the story behind each fruit, the secrets I've gathered over many years caring for people just like you, so you can choose the right one at the right time in the right way. There's nothing complicated about it. It's just about understanding your body, recognizing the gifts nature has already given you, and knowing how to bring them back to your table. Are you ready? Take a deep breath and imagine your legs not too far from now feeling light, steady, and strong again. In the next part, I'll introduce you to the very first fruit on this list. A small one, but it's helped many of my patients stand tall and smile again. Do you remember the last time you held a kiwi in your hand? So small, with its fuzzy brown skin, but inside that bright green flesh, like a tiny garden in your palm. I often ask my patients, have you ever thought that something as small as a kiwi could ease your stiff knees, help you stand up without using your hands and make your steps feel lighter? Most of them just laugh at first, but then they listen. Kiwi. That's the very first gift I want to tell you about today. I remember one patient, George, 64 years old, who came to see me with knees that crackled every morning. He said, "Doc, I've been on painkillers for a year now. Figured it's just downhill from here." And I told him, "George, how about starting your day with 2 kiwis and just give it some time?" You see, kiwi isn't just a pretty little fruit. It's packed with vitamin C, even more than oranges, and vitamin C is essential for your body to produce collagen. What's collagen? It's those invisible fibers woven together like a strong net that keep your knees, hips, and ankles sturdy and flexible. But when you don't get enough vitamin C collagen, production slows, your joints weaken, and every time you stand up or bend down, it feels a little heavier, a little harder. One study from the University of Otago in New Zealand showed that people who ate just 2 kiwis a day for 1 week boosted their blood vitamin C levels by 31%, and they reported less stiffness and found it easier to move around. George came back to my office after 2 weeks, stood up from his chair without pushing off with his hands. He grinned and said, "I never thought that little fruit would help me stand tall again." But kiwi doesn't stop at vitamin C. It's also full of antioxidants to protect your tissues from inflammation and breakdown. And here's something most people don't know. It contains actinidin, a natural enzyme that helps you digest protein better. When your digestion runs smoothly, your body can absorb more of the amino acids it needs to rebuild collagen. I usually tell my patients, eat fresh kiwi, preferably in the morning. If you can, don't peel it. The skin has extra fiber and antioxidants. Just wash it, slice it in half, scoop it out with a spoon, or cut it into slices and toss it into yogurt or a smoothie. Now, imagine this. Every morning you sit by the window with the sunlight streaming in, holding a cool kiwi in your hand. You bite into it, and the sweet, tart flavor spreads across your tongue. And you know in that small, quiet moment, you've just said a little thank you to your knees, your feet, and all the steps that have carried you through life. I always say, sometimes it's not the expensive medicine that makes you feel better. It's just a kiwi, a little patience, and a little love for your own body. Have you ever looked at your own hands And notice the skin dry, the finger joints stiff, as if they're missing something. Or in the morning when you step out of bed, your knees crack, your knees feel wooden, no longer soft and graceful like they used to be. I want you to picture this. Your body, every single cell, is actually thirsty. One of my patients, Margaret, 69, once came to see me with cracked hands and aching knees. She said, "Doctor, I've tried all kinds of creams, taken all the pills, but I still feel stiff like an old dry tree." And I smiled and told her, "Maybe you forgot how to water yourself from the inside out." That's when I told her about coconut. Coconut. It sounds so simple, so ordinary, but it's truly one of nature's greatest gifts to our bodies, especially as the years begin to wear down our joints and our skin. That clear, cool coconut water doesn't just quench your thirst on your lips. It soaks into every cell, every connective tissue, making them supple again. It contains lauric acid, a natural anti-inflammatory, which helps reduce mild swelling around the joints. It's rich in potassium, a mineral older adults are often deficient in helping balance fluids and keep tissues elastic. Margaret started each morning with a glass of fresh coconut water and occasionally nibbled on a few slices of coconut meat. Just a few weeks later, she came back to my office holding out her hands, smiling. "My skin feels softer. My knees don't hurt as much. I feel younger." You see, the older we get, the more easily we become dehydrated at the cellular level. That's when joints dry out, skin wrinkles, connective tissues seem to lose their life. But coconut, its water, its flesh, even its oil, quietly restores what we've been missing. Even coconut oil contains antioxidants that help protect your collagen from breaking down, supporting the repair of tendons, ligaments, and joints after damage. I often tell my patients, think of coconut as a gentle reminder your body needs care, hydration, moisture, both outside and inside. So, what's the simplest way? A glass of fresh coconut water in the morning, or a few bites of coconut meat chewed slowly, like a little treat for your golden years. But remember, as good as it is, coconut is still calorie-rich. Don't overdo it, just enough for your body to feel grateful and nourished. Would you like to try? Tomorrow, pick up a fresh coconut. Close your eyes, sip slowly, and feel your body being watered and renewed from the inside out. Let me ask you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself holding a tiny pale green fruit in your hand, a little rough on the outside with a delicate tart aroma like the breath of a morning garden in India. That's amla, also known as Indian gooseberry, a small fruit with a surprisingly deep power that leaves many people amazed. Have you ever felt your knees swollen after just a walk, or woken up in the morning with aching, stiff feet, wondering to yourself, is there anything that could help me feel like I used to? Again, I'll never forget the story of Daniel, 71, a retired firefighter. He came to see me, sat down, rubbed his knees, and said, "Doc, I feel like I'm slowly losing my ability to stand tall. Every step feels heavier than the last." And I told him about amla. He chuckled. That little fruit, what could it possibly do? And I just smiled. Try it, then tell me later. You see, amla isn't just rich in vitamin C, it's actually one of the most potent, stable, and easily absorbed sources of vitamin C thanks to its natural polyphenols. These polyphenols don't just protect the vitamin C from breaking down, they also help your body use it to its full potential. And when your body has enough vitamin C, the collagen production machine kicks back on those elastic strands that keep your tendons, muscles, and ligaments strong and flexible. Several studies have shown that in older adults, regular use of amla can reduce joint pain and swelling by up to 42%, while actually increasing collagen density by 24%, not just easing symptoms but repairing the deeper structure. Daniel came back to see me after 2 months, walking into my office confidently without his cane. He smiled and said, "Doc, I feel like myself at 50 again." And what's funny is, it wasn't any fancy medicine, just that little fruit you told me about. So let me ask you, have you ever considered that your body can heal itself if you just give it the right tools? Amla is one of those gifts. The simplest way to tap into its benefits is to take it in the morning. You can mix a teaspoon of amla powder into warm water, add a little honey, and a few drops of lemon to make it easier to drink. Or, if you have the chance, try fresh amla juice, a little sour, a little sharp. But that's the taste of health, of renewal. Some of my patients, even like to slice fresh amla, soak it overnight in lightly salted water, to mellow the tartness and slowly chew it the next morning. I always tell them, sometimes the miracle doesn't come from complicated methods, it's just patience and one little fruit. Would you like to try? Picture this tomorrow morning, as the sunlight spills through your window, you lift a glass of amla to your lips and silently promise your knees, your legs, and every step you take, "I still love you, and I want you to be strong again." Have you ever felt your knees swell after a long day of standing, or your feet feel like they're about to explode after an afternoon walking through the market? Have you ever looked down at your legs, red hot, throbbing, and wondered, is there any way to soothe this without popping another pill? Let me tell you about a fruit, sweet, juicy, golden, and so fragrant that just cutting it open can light up your entire kitchen. The pineapple. One of my patients, Helen 66, once said to me, "Doctor, every time I come back from a walk in the park, my knees swell up like balloons, and it hurts so much I can't even sleep." I smiled and gently said, "Try adding a little pineapple to your breakfast. Don't underestimate it." You see, pineapple isn't just delicious. It contains a special enzyme called bromelain. Bromelain is a natural anti-inflammatory that helps reduce swelling around the joints, especially the knees, ankles, hips, all those joints that bear your body's weight day after day. A study published in Clinical Rheumatology showed that arthritis patients who took bromelain daily saw pain and swelling drop by 41% in just 1 month. And another study in Germany found that bromelain was almost as effective as standard painkillers, but without the nasty side effects on the stomach. But that's not all. Pineapple is also packed with vitamin C, which helps your body build fresh collagen and manganese, a mineral that activates the enzymes needed to produce collagen. Think of it this way. Pineapple helps put out the inflammatory fires in your joints and delivers the building blocks and tools your body needs to repair and rebuild collagen. Helen came back 3 weeks later, proudly showing me a photo she'd taken in the park, standing tall, smiling, her knees no longer swollen. her eyes bright. "Doctor," she said, "I never thought just one bowl of pineapple could help me get back to that trail." I asked her, "How are you eating it?" She grinned. "Every morning I slice a few pieces and eat them fresh, so sweet and refreshing. I forget. I'm even taking medicine." And that's exactly what I want to tell you too. Eat fresh pineapple. Stay away from canned or syrup-soaked pineapple. Those lose a lot of their nutrients and add things your body doesn't need. In the morning or after a workout, a few golden slices of pineapple might just be the gentlest medicine you can give to your joints, knees, and feet. I always remind my patients, sometimes what your body really needs isn't sitting inside a pill bottle, it's waiting inside a pineapple, just waiting for you to cut it open, smell its fragrance, and chew slowly with gratitude. Would you like to try tomorrow, when you're at the store? Pick out a fresh pineapple, bring it home, and think of the light, effortless steps you deserve to take again. Have you ever held a strawberry in your hand, stared at that deep crimson color and thought, what can it really do besides just being sweet? I used to ask myself that same question until one of my patients, Lily 62, showed me that strawberries aren't just a dessert. Lily came to my office clutching her knee and said, "Doctor, every evening after yoga my knees swell and ache like they're protesting. I'm afraid I'll have to quit soon." I smiled and asked, "Do you like strawberries?" She laughed. "Of course I do, but what does that have to do with my knees?" And so I told her the story of strawberries, a quiet little warrior for collagen. You see, strawberries may be small, but they're packed with powerful nutrients. They're rich in ellagic acid, vitamin C, and manganese, a trio that helps block the enzymes that break down collagen. The very fibers holding your tendons, ligaments, and joint cushions together as you age. One study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food followed arthritis patients who ate strawberries daily. The results were remarkable. After just 2 weeks, markers of inflammation dropped by 37%, and their joint pain eased noticeably. But that's not all. Strawberries also help improve the elasticity of connective tissues, those invisible threads that keep your joints stable and flexible, so you can stand up, walk, and even do yoga, just like Lily. 2 weeks later, Lily came back to my office smiling wide and said, "Doctor, I don't even need to ice my knees after yoga anymore. They feel so much better, and I can sit and stand without holding my breath from pain." I asked her, "When do you eat your strawberries?" She replied, "A few fresh ones in the morning or after yoga, kind of like a little reward for myself." And here's what I want you to remember too. Strawberries are best eaten fresh. Avoid strawberry jams, syrups, or canned versions. They're loaded with sugar, and sugar actually damages collagen. You can have them in the morning when your body is waking up and your collagen fibers are ready to be nourished. Or treat yourself after a light workout when blood flow is strong and your body absorbs nutrients more effectively. I always tell my patients some sweetness isn't just to enjoy, it's to heal. And strawberries are one of those sweet little healers. So tomorrow, when you see those bright red berries on the shelf, I hope you'll remember Lily's story and know that you too deserve strong knees, light steps, and a little sweetness just for yourself. Have you ever held a bunch of red grapes, the little round ones tight and glistening like tiny amethysts, and wondered, Is there really anything inside them besides that sweet, refreshing taste? One morning I met Thomas, 70, in my office. He let out a long sigh and said, "Doctor, the older I get, the more my knees creak. My feet go numb, and my calves feel like there's no blood flowing anymore." I looked at him and asked, "Do you like grapes?" He looked surprised and chuckled. I thought grapes were just for snacking. They don't really help with anything, do they? And that's when I told him about red grapes, this tiny fruit that holds a secret to restoring collagen, reducing inflammation, and improving circulation. You see, inside that thin little skin lies a treasure chest of powerful polyphenols, resveratrol, and proanthocyanidins. Resveratrol doesn't just slow down aging, it also helps block the enzymes that quietly destroy collagen in your joints and connective tissues. Proanthocyanidins. They're like skilled craftsmen, waking up the fibroblasts, those little cells responsible for producing collagen, and getting them to work again. There was even a study done on older adults that showed after just 4 weeks of drinking a glass of red grape juice every day, their skin became softer and more elastic, and the pain in their knees and ankles eased significantly. Thomas started eating red grapes every morning, skin and seeds included. A month later, he came back, placed both hands on my desk, and smiled. "Doctor, every step I take feels lighter. Now my feet feel warmer, and I even sleep better at night." Who would have thought it was just a handful of grapes? So let me ask you, how long has it been since you really paid attention to the blood flowing down to your legs? How long have you brushed off knee pain and numb feet as just part of getting older and left it at that? But red grapes remind us even just a little bit of care can change everything. I often tell my patients, eat fresh red grapes, skin and seeds too, because that's where the polyphenols are concentrated. If it's more convenient, you can make juice, but don't add sugar, and it's best in the morning or after some light exercise. Picture this early morning dew still clinging to the grass. You're holding a bunch of red grapes. You bite into one, and that sweet tart juice spreads over your tongue. And in that moment, you are nourishing your collagen, your blood flow, and your legs. I always say sometimes strength doesn't come from something big, but from one tiny grape you eat each day. Have you ever sliced open a ripe papaya, seen that soft orange flesh, smelled its sweet fragrance, and never once thought that hidden inside is a secret that could make your knees and feet supple? Again, I want you to picture this one morning. You get out of bed, your knees aren't stiff anymore, your feet aren't swollen, and each step feels light, just like it used to. One of my patients, Robert, 68, once told me, "Doctor, every time I walk down the stairs, I feel and hear my joints groaning like they're angry at me for ignoring them all these years." I smiled, handed him a papaya, and said, "Try nourishing them again, starting with something simple." You see, papaya isn't just a pleasant dessert. It's a treasure chest of vitamin C flavonoids, and most importantly, an enzyme called papain. Papain is like a quiet craftsman, breaking down complex protein chains into small, usable pieces, the raw materials your body needs to rebuild collagen. When your body runs low on collagen, your joints dry out, swell, and lose flexibility. But when you give it the right materials and the right tools like what papaya offers, it starts to repair itself little by little. A study in the Journal of Medicinal Food showed that older adults with stiff knees felt noticeably more flexible and experienced less pain after just 2 weeks of eating ripe papaya regularly. Robert came back after half a month standing tall, walking down the stairs without a single groan. He laughed and said, "Funny, I always thought only medicine could help me. Who knew it was just a papaya?" So let me ask you, have you ever imagined that soft, sweet fruit could help you walk lighter, freer? I always tell my patients, eat papaya when it's fully ripe. That's when the papain is at its peak, and the vitamin C and flavonoids are richest. You can cut it into slices, squeeze a little lemon on top to boost the vitamin C even more. And if you'd like, lightly crush a few of the seeds and sprinkle them, because even the seeds have anti-inflammatory properties. And I truly believe sometimes what you really need isn't a long prescription, but a slow bite of ripe papaya, as a way to say sorry and thank you to your feet. Tomorrow, if you get the chance, pick out a ripe papaya, slice it open, and as that sweet aroma fills the air, close your eyes and imagine your legs being quietly healed from the inside out. Have you ever seen a guava jade green, a little bumpy, sitting quietly on the market stall, and just walked right past it without a second thought? One of my patients, Emily, 63, once joked, "Guava, I always thought it was just something to dip in salt and chili, doctor." And I smiled back at her. Maybe you didn't know. Guava is actually one of the strongest allies of collagen and of your knees and feet, too. You see, guava isn't just a sweet little gift from nature. It actually contains 4 times more vitamin C than an orange, and vitamin C is the essential ingredient your body needs to produce and protect collagen. Collagen is like an invisible net, holding your knees, ankles, and ligaments together, keeping them strong and flexible. But over the years, that net starts to fray and weaken, and guava comes along to fuel the repair process. But guava does even more. It's rich in lycopene and polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that help reduce joint inflammation, protect your connective tissues, and improve the elasticity of your skin. A study published in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults who ate guava daily for 6 weeks experienced a significant reduction in joint inflammation, and their skin became noticeably softer and more elastic. Emily came back after 6 weeks, smiling from ear to ear, lifting her arms, turning lightly, and showing off. "Now my knees don't hurt like before, and even the skin on my hands and legs looks less wrinkled." Who would have thought a guava could do all that? Let me ask you, how long has it been since you bit into a fresh guava, heard that crisp crunch, and let the sweet, tart flavor spread across your tongue? I always tell my patients, eat fresh guava and keep the skin on. That's where a lot of the fiber and antioxidants are. And it's best in the morning, when your body is ready to absorb all those good things. You can eat it whole as a snack, or slice it up and toss it into your morning salad. But remember, don't juice it or add sugar. You'll lose so many of its precious benefits. I often say guava isn't loud. It doesn't show off, but quietly it helps keep your legs steady and your skin smooth. So tomorrow, if you see a basket of guavas at the market, pause for a moment. Pick a nice fresh one, hold it in your hand, and remember you're holding a quiet little promise to your body. Have you ever gazed at a handful of blueberries, tiny, deep blue, each one covered in a soft, velvety bloom, and wondered, Can something this small really help my aching legs? I used to wonder the same thing until I met Linda. Linda, 67, came to see me with tired eyes. Her knees were swollen, her steps slow. She said, "Doctor, every morning I wake up and my legs feel so heavy. My joints are stiff, and it hurts so much, I don't even feel like stepping outside." So I told her about blueberries, those tiny little fruits with the quiet power to repair the fine collagen structures inside her joints. You see, blueberries are packed with flavonoids and anthocyanins, two precious compounds that help repair broken collagen fibers, reduce swelling, and improve joint mobility. Flavonoids also help stabilize blood sugar, while anthocyanins soothe inflammation and improve blood flow all the way down to the smallest tissues. One study published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics showed that older adults who ate blueberries daily for just 2 weeks improved their joint mobility by 38% and saw a significant reduction in swelling. Another study from the University of Maine showed that blueberries also enhance blood flow to the knees, ankles, and calves, delivering more nutrients to feed the joints. After 3 weeks, Linda came back to my office, standing up from her chair on her own, smiling, and said, "Now, when I wake up, my legs don't feel like they're weighed down by stones anymore. I even dared to walk to the park and watch the sunrise." I often ask my patients, have you ever held a single blueberry, felt its sweetness and slight tartness spread over your tongue, and realized that in that moment, you're healing your own legs? If you want the full benefits, choose wild blueberries. If you can, they have twice the antioxidants of regular farmed ones. You can eat them, fresh snack on them in the morning, sprinkle them over oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or simply hold them in your palm and pop them one by one like a little reward for yourself. I often say those tiny berries hold an entire forest of strength, gently stitching back together the tired collagen fibers of your body. So tomorrow, when you spot a box of blueberries, give yourself a chance. If there's a wild variety, pick that one. And when you bite into the first berry, tell yourself, I deserve these strong, steady steps. You see, joint pain, swollen legs, these aren't just old age problems. They happen because your collagen fibers quietly break down over the years, and you simply haven't replenished them yet. But the good news is you can absolutely start over today. The 10 fruits I just shared with you aren't just old wives' tales or random tips. They've been clinically studied and proven to work reducing inflammation, calming swelling, rebuilding collagen, helping you feel real changes in just a few days. You don't need to wait for some miracle pill. You don't have to worry about side effects. This is a natural, safe, gentle solution, just like the way your body knows how to heal itself. I always tell my patients, you don't need to take it all on at once. Just choose one. Start with one little box, one small fruit. Eat it regularly, patiently, and then your body will thank you. And when you finally feel your steps getting lighter, your knees less sore, your hands and feet less numb, don't keep that joy all to yourself. Share it with your family, with your friends, those who are also quietly carrying their own pain, so they too can feel this little bit of hope, this joy, this healing, just like you. You see, sometimes it's the smallest things that nourish us more than we realize. A kiwi in the morning, a handful of blackberries, a few blueberries, or even just one crisp bite of guava. These are all little love notes you send to your knees, your feet, and your journey ahead. If what I shared with you today made you pause, gave you a bit of inspiration, or even just made you smile and think, I can still do good things for myself, then that makes me truly happy. If you found this video helpful, please leave me a like, so I know you're still here listening and walking this path with me. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next videos where I'll continue to share gentle, easy-to-understand, and heartfelt advice to help you live healthier, calmer, and happier every day. Thank you for listening, for trusting me, and for staying with me all the way to the end. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Wishing you good health and happiness always. This video is for reference only. Please consult your doctor before applying any of these suggestions.